So, in other words, a markup is an increase. Oh, got to write down the pen. A markup is an increase in value. I know, I am so embarrassed. So, the steps for markup are very similar for the steps for a discount, except there's one big difference. That difference being for step one. So, for example, one where it says Games Galore Superstore buys the latest video game at a wholesale price of $30. The markup rate of the Games Galore Superstore is 40%. What is the selling price? Step one. In discounts, we subtract from 100. In markups, we add our percent to 100. So in our work section, number one, our first step, we have to add our percent from the problem to 100%. It says that the markup rate at Games Galore Superstore is 40%. So all we have to do is 40% plus 100%. The sum for this will then be 140%. Oh, I won't. I'm just moving it. So then for step two, it is exactly like the discount process. Step two, we convert our percent to a decimal. So in the case of our first example, our step two, we got to convert 140% into a decimal. In order to do that, all we got to do is move our decimal 2 to the left. Our decimal is after this zero because it's 140.0 and the second zero is missing. And all we got to do is move our decimal 2 to the left, making 140% equal to 1.4. We can add it, it's fine. Yes. It does not, but for now, for clarification, I'll leave it there. You can just leave it as 1.4 or 1.40 is fine. And then finally, our step three is just like how from our discount practice problems, we multiply the decimal by the original value. And so if you don't remember, our original value from example one is $30. So for step three in our work, all we have to do is 1.4, our decimal, or 1.40, either or, multiplied by $30. Whenever someone has that in the calculator, please raise your hand. Paxton, but what is 1.4 times 30? So our final answer, our markup price, is $42. $42. Do not forget to unit it. Do not forget units. And circle it. There we go. You can have 42.00. That's fine. That's fine. So in other words, this store buys the video game at $30 and it will sell it to the public for $42. In other words, the store is making $12 profit for every video game they sell. This is how stores are run. This is how companies are run. This is how any business is run. You need to have a markup profit. Yes, Tori. The first two examples are on me. I call them. So, example two, what is the selling price of a $50 TV with a 10% markup? So, our step one, we subtract, not my apologies. We add 10% to 100%. This value then becomes 110%. Our step two is to convert our percent into a decimal. And in order to do that, we just move our decimal places 2 to the left. So our decimal for example 2 is 1.1. And then finally, we're going to multiply 1.1 by our original value of the TV, which is $50. And so what would our markup TV value be? Reagan. So a TV with a 10% markup will be sold at $55. I'm going. Example 3 are all true numbers. The latest iPhone 13, just a regular iPhone 13, is retailed at $799. There is a 6.25% selling tax in Illinois. So, what is the sale price in Illinois? So, this is how you figure out how to apply your taxes to anything that you're going to buy in Illinois. So, for now, we're going to rewrite all the steps because the more you write it, the more likely you're going to remember it in the steps column. So, let's all do that first. Step 1, we add our percent to 100%. Once you do that step 2, you convert your percent to a decimal. And then last step, you multiply your decimal by your original value. So, Kadoki, I'm going to need some help. What's our first step for our example 3 work? Bryden. Boom. So we got to add the sale tax with 6.25% to 100%. Now here, you do not change or round up. You're showing the work right now. So 6.25 plus 100 will give us 106.25%. Step 2. What do we do with step 2? Maddie. So we got to convert 106.25% into a decimal. How do we do that, Maddie? So boom, all we got to move is the decimal places 2 to the left. So 106.25% as a decimal will become 1.0625. What? Do you have to have 0? Yes, because that is part of the number in this case. And last but not least, we have one final step. Oh, snap. What is our final step? Dory! Boom. Can you say the value a little louder?
The value is 848.9375. You round that to 9.94.
Boom, perfect. Yeah, since this is money, you want to round to 2 decimal places, all right, after your decimal. So, for those who want to get a new iPhone, you have to save at least $848.94. Luckily, a lot of cell phone companies lets you pay off your phone monthly, but you're usually like 3 to 5 year contracts. Me, on the other hand, I always have bought my phone full price, but I like to buy used phones, so that's what I do. It's cheaper. I have an iPhone 7 Plus. I've had it for the last like 4 or 5 years.
Get an SE.
No, that's way too small.
Wow.
Not even. I got big hands. I got sausage fingers.
Look at the 12 mini. Look at the 12 mini.
Is that really the 12 mini?
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
30% plus 100%.
So she is adding 30% to 100%. And what is that total, Sid? Add a good arrow. No, next step for someone else. Bailey, what do we do after we get our percent? Sweet. And how do we convert from a percent to a decimal from 130%? Awesome, awesome. So we got to move it 2 to the left. So our decimal becomes 1.3. Lily, how do we finish this off? Sweet. So we multiply our decimal by our original value, which is $20. And Brooke, what's 1.3 times 20? So our new markup price, our new sale price is $26.